Hi, I'm Kelly Hansen here in the New Day studios.
Nazi.
Chris, is everything okay?
No, I am so sorry. I lost my dog. We were at the Winter Games. It looks beautiful. She's like a wolf, very face. Have you seen her? Nazi, she loves this ball.
But she might have won.
Nazi.
If you know, you know. New Day at the Game starts right now.
It's a new day.
Now, from the Virginia Mason Franciscan Health Studios at King 5, this is New Day at the Game.
And scene. Welcome to New Day at the Games. I'm Chris Cashman.
And I'm Kelly Hansen. Chris, we're nearing the finish line of these games. Just 3 days left to go. But I'm really not ready to say goodbye to the competition or the delicious Italian treats that we've been trying every single day.
Yeah.
I know, speaking of treats, right in front of us here, cannolis. This is from Cannolo in South Lake Union, and they are dedicated to the art of the cannoli.
It's all about who you know. You know Cannolo.
Yeah, I do. You're welcome. Welcome to the show. Cannoli got their start in Sicily, likely back when the island was under Arab rule. Ooh. They were originally made as a carnival symbol of fertility. Did not know that.
Wow. Okay.
Traditionally, they're just crisp fried pastry tubes filled with sweet, creamy ricotta. Chris, what do we think? I'm going to dive in.
I was going to say, you dive in and I'll dive in, but I didn't know there was that much heritage behind it. I mean, I love it when we have a great excuse to dive into desserts.
Oh, wow.
Right? If there's a rich history, and we're going to get into more rich history a little bit later in the show, too, give you even more excuse to dive into desserts.
Okay, the ricotta is so good. It's not overly sweet, surprisingly. This has a little, like, shaved pistachio on it.
I was this years old when I
powdered
discovered
sugar.
This is ricotta. I just assumed it was frosting. And
I know. Nope. Ricotta cheese, in fact. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, more on that. We need some espresso. Okay, I'm going to talk. A brand new Olympic sport. It debuted today. You're really excited about this. It's called Skimo. It's short for ski mountaineering. Here's how it works. Athletes climb a mountain on skis. Tell me more, Chris.
It's very cool, actually, because they basically have ski mountaineering, skimo for short. They have to climb the mountain. They have to go up on skis with skins they put on the bottom of them for grip. You can see they're climbing up the mountain.
That is
and they got to
so
go up
hard.
some stairs with their skis, so they've got to earn it. No rope tow there. They're going all the way to the top. The cool part is then they take the skins off and they race down the hill. So it's a marked course, and UW grad Anna Gibson was competing. She made it through her first heat just this morning. She did finish in fifth, though, in the semifinal, so that's not good enough to make it through to the final. But way to go. What a cool thing, and a new sport debuting in the games, and what a big deal. They're going to have more of an impact on Saturday. Skimo mixed team relay, by the way.
Ooh, yeah. They need like 15 cannolis to get up and down.
The toughest sport?
That is insane.
That athleticism. Run up the mountain with your skis on, then come back down. Incredible.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, no doubt.
Many things. I want to get to one of my favorite things that we've been doing over the course of the last couple weeks. We check in with our friends that are down in Milan, Jake Wittenberg and Chris Egan. Here they are.
Greetings from Milan, Italy. Just a few days left of competition.
Where are we, by the way, right now? Where are we?
Look at this. It never gets old. This is the... ready for this?
I'm ready.
Piazza del Duomo.
I mean, this guy, 2 weeks ago, he said the Pizza del Duomo. And, I mean, it's just beautiful. Well done.
You know, when you've been here for 20 days, it starts to click. But so much fun being here, getting used to this city now, and so many great moments in these sports. That ski mountaineering we've been talking about, the first time ever in Olympic competition, and Anna Gibson from the UW, you know, not making the finals, but a great showing.
Former UW runner. This is the cool story. You never know where you're going to go in life. I mean, she was a Division I college runner, and now she's at the Winter Games and doing great things. Took fifth place today.
Unreal. And to see that obstacle course, uphill and then downhill, that was something totally different. All right, so plus, we're also rooting on Federal Way's Corinne Stoddard. Not the best Olympics for her, well beyond what she had hoped for, but she gets a chance at redemption this Friday night.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. She's going to be in a 1,500 meter on Friday. We talked to J.R. Selski, three-time Olympian, three-time Olympic medalist. He says she's dialed in. She's had a good week of preparation. Hopefully she can put it together tomorrow.
You know, it was interesting. We talked to JR about, like, what is it about the pressure that's on these athletes? What do you do to get out of that? And he was kind of blaming the distractions of social media and sponsors and things like that. You can see that happening in such a big thing like the Olympics.
Outside noise. I feel about pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here and there's Prada. There's Louis Vuitton.
Right here.
I mean, there's everywhere you look. And my wife says, "What are you bringing me home?"
That's pressure.
New Day, you gotta help me. You gotta help me. That's pressure right there, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what also is pressure?
It's a new day.
I love when they say that.
Nailed it again.
I'm going to tell them too. Louis Vuitton, Gucci. That's what she wants.
Do they have a goodwill? in Milan. I mean, come on, that's where I get all my Gucci. Come on.
Ooh, that's really smart. Yeah,
I mean, they
okay, there you
probably
go.
do, right?
Pro tip, they probably do.
Yeah, we got to talk about the star, a surprise participant who stole the show, arguably, at the Olympic cross-country course in Milan. You probably saw it on your feed. A dog ran right out into the track during the women's team sprint qualifiers. Officials did scoop him up, sent him home, but not before he turned into a instant fan favorite. Social media is loving this. Of course, you'd love a dog appearance of any kind, but sprinting down the home stretch, the Instagram account, we rate dogs. If you want to look at that, they give him a 14 out of 10.
As
for
they
his
should.
excellent sprint form. And we should point out, would you be scared if that was running up behind you?
Terrifying, yes.
On a mountain.
It looks like a wolf.
It does indeed.
It would probably help me in the race, though. I might win and get, a personal best with seeing something like that behind me.
That's
but
right.
you do notice that he was wearing a collar, so the dog
Yes.
is owned by someone with like the Olympics, working there and
now
stuff.
a celebrity dog. So
We love stories like this.
totally,
This is always
totally.
so
We were
much
saying
fun
how
to
much
see.
we love the competition. We love seeing the
Of
winning
course.
and even sometimes the heartbreak, just because they're teachable moments. But we love just this sphere around the games. There's so many stories and fans and people, and we're talking about a lot of them, right?
Oh, absolutely. And now for another viral moment. Freestyle skier and 5-time Olympic medalist Eileen Gu clapped back at a reporter who asked if she views her performance at these Olympics as 2 silver medals gained or 2 golds lost. Gu skis for China. She called the question a ridiculous way to look at her accomplishments. She reminded the room she's now the most decorated female free skier in history and said that she's proud of every medal that she's earned. And she ended that, of course, with a little smirk. I say, you go, girl, with the clap back. I mean, I know sometimes people think I got silver, I
Right.
didn't get gold, I'm
Right.
almost there. But I loved her perspective, and she said it in such a classy way
She was
back to this
prepared,
reporter.
just like she was prepared to compete. I mean, the moment that
Absolutely.
came out of his mouth, he smiled. She's very beautiful, very poised, and she just said,
Absolutely.
"Oh, what a weird perspective, because I'm actually the most decorated." So she said it
Mic
with a big
drop.
smile and in a friendly way, and she's right. So way to go.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Meanwhile, back at home and fresh off of their Super Bowl victory and the parade, of course, the Seahawks are now up for sale. That probably also hit your feed. The timing might seem unusual, but the sale has long been in the works. That was a part of Paul Allen's final wishes, so this is not breaking news. How long it's going to take, though, that's anybody's guess. Back in 2023, it took Washington about 8 months to complete the sale of the Commanders. That was a bit more complicated. But the year before that, it took the Denver Broncos just 4 months to get their deal done. So for the 12s who are in a panic, I would just say this was always a part of the plan for Paul's sister Jody to sell both the Blazers and the Seahawks, donate that money to charity, which is incredible.
That's amazing.
And and also that caveat that everybody's worried about, the asterisk, was the team is going to stay in Seattle.
That's
So don't
exactly what
worry.
I was going to say,
I
because
got
some
excited.
people started panicking on my feed, like, is it going to stay in Seattle? They can't take away the Seahawks like the Sonics. And it's like, no. They're not going anywhere. They're staying in the city.
I saw at least one former Seahawk in the thread saying, "I'm interested. Seriously, who do I talk to?" Nate Burleson. What do you think? The Legion? Let them come together, some former greats. Form
Could
a
you
dream
even
team?
imagine?
7 to 10 billion. I'll go in on it. What
I
do
was
we
just
got?
going to say, I have $20 over
Nothing,
there.
forget it.
Anyways, we're in.
All right.
Much more New Day to come. In fact, we're snacking like the Italians do. Olivia Becker from Dalafonte shares the perfect bites to serve at your Olympic watch party and the best sips. In fact, Olivia has a favorite drink that includes blood orange balsamic. Yum.
Ooh, and later, antique appraiser Dr. Lori, she's back to deliver the good news about the treasure in your attic, or maybe the bad news. You've been hanging on to it for too long. Either way, we'll learn something about those heirlooms you've been saving.
We've loved all the fun Italian food we've been trying on the show the last few weeks, so let the good times continue. Olympic watch parties are always a good time, whether you are alone or with friends, and Dalafonte's Olivia Becker is back to show us how to snack like the Italians do.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. So good to see you.
You too. So Italian snack like us?
Well, no,
No.
not quite. I would
No.
say, like, especially just coming off of the Super Bowl watch parties, very different. Think
Really?
like much fresher foods, ingredients that you would also have for your dinner. And that antipasto, the idea is that it's the food before the meal. And typically you would want to have some flavors that are also part of your meal later. So a little bit different than like potato
Nachos.
chips. Yeah.
Potato skins.
Yeah, exactly. A lot different than the Super Bowl. So
yes. And if you're throwing a watch party, what do we want to make sure that we have on hand?
yeah, so what we like to do at Delafonte is provide those Italian staples that you can have in your pantry. So whenever someone might be coming over, you have something that you know is fresh and delicious and easy to prepare.
Please.
We wanted to help you with your New Year's
Please.
resolution.
Help me.
Yes. So some things that we always have that we love to provide our customers as well are some fresh pestos. We have a variety here. Pesto is not just the basil pesto that we know. We have a pistachio artichoke.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it's like
Is it good? Okay,
is
I
so
can't wait
good.
to try that.
Olive pate, some roasted vegetables and herbs, and then of course any of the crunchy grissini, tirali, Italian jams, all of those things that just make putting together, whether it's a watch party or a gathering, really easy and really delicious.
Oh, yes. You are elevating my game. We're starting over here. I've, tasted these, but not is that prosciutto wrapped around it? How do we do
Yes.
this?
So these are Italian breadsticks called grissini.
Grissini.
So if you've eaten in Italy, if you've eaten at an Italian restaurant, oftentimes those are in the bread basket along with the bread.
Yes.
They are excellent. I love to serve them this way in a vase of flowers and then wrapped in prosciutto because it looks
Cute.
great and it's super simple.
Okay, I'm going to watch you and then I'm going to partake.
So all you need is some prosciutto and you take one slice.
I need a bigger
And
one.
honestly, it doesn't even need to be pretty. And you just take it and you just wrap the grissini. I know you can do this.
Look at this.
Yeah.
This looks fancy. People are going to be shocked.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So so this is my favorite thing to just have on hand to display, and for your vegetarian friends, of course, grissini on its own.
And the
is
vase
delicious.
idea, that looks
Yes.
great.
Yes, exactly. Perfect for snacking. So you just throw that in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bruschetta?
Bruschetta. So this
Right?
is very
I'm saying that right.
important.
Bruschetta.
Yeah.
It's not bruschetta. It's bruschetta.
It's not bruschetta. In Italian, when you have CH, it's K, which is
Okay.
like counterintuitive to us Americans, but it is bruschetta. So it comes from the word bruscare, which means to roast over the coals. So the Italians used to take bread, stale bread especially, roast it over coals and put like fresh vegetables or any ingredients on top of it
Speaking
to kind of
my
extend
language.
the experience. We have no roasting over coals today. We have a toaster, but also brought just some of our favorite things. So again, these like roasted Italian vegetables, zucchinis and peppers in olive oil. This is a Ligurian olive pate, and then 2 pestos. So these don't
I feel
always
like I got to try this one that you were saying.
You do, and they're not always for pasta. I mean, they're delicious on toast.
I'm making a mess.
Oh no,
That's
no,
what
there's
happens
no
in the
such thing.
kitchen.
Yeah, you're
This
all good.
Pistachio. What's else?
Pistachio,
Artichoke?
wild artichoke, pesto.
I'm gonna put a little
And
spices.
then put some Italian herbs. This is another thing that's like wonderful to have on hand because, first of all, again, it just looks great. Like the
and it
Italians just
smells
do it right.
so good.
I know.
They
it's
really
an Italian
do.
herb blend
with lavender.
with a little bit of lavender too. Yeah, we even have one that have like some edible wildflowers. So again, to just like up your Italian snacking game, because again, everything is like fresh and what we would consider gourmet. It's not the potato chip bag.
No.
There's a place for it, but there's so many options. with
Snacking the
food.
Italian way is winning
Yeah.
right now.
Yes.
We're moving right along to the charcuterie too while I try this.
Yes. Okay. So dive in. So I love to have a cheese plate out. So these are 3 of my favorite Italian cheeses: Gorgonzola Dolce, a Fontina, and then a Pecorino, which is a sheep's cheese with pistachio. And then always love to pair it with either an Italian jam or honey. So this is an Italian apricot jam from Tuscany. And then of course, like my
Those.
absolute, I know, cult favorite.
The bags that I get when I go to Italy of these babies. Oh
the
my gosh.
tirali. So tirali can be enjoyed on their own, but I love to just do a layering situation. So I'll do it with the gorgonzola, and then add some apricot jam. You have to try this. I think one of the things that sets apart
Sold.
Italian food is that it's not sweet. Like you really taste the fruit versus the sugar.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's
That's why when I was in Italy, I was shocked. I did so much walking and I was eating so well. I didn't gain any weight. I was like, this is great.
this is a dream. Exactly.
Sweets too while I'm trying this. What do we have over there?
So these, I mean, I love to have something sweet out, even if it is before dinner.
So good.
These are 3 Italian treats that I love. These are baci di dama cookies. So it's a hazelnut cookie with chocolate in the middle. It means the kiss of a woman. I don't even know where that came from, but
It works.
Baci di Dalma, a polenta corn cookie, and then a dark chocolate dipped lemon rind. So again, just a nice balance to the cheeses and the bruschetta to also offer something
Drinks
sweet.
before we go too. What do you have
Oh,
there?
see, I'm gonna have to eat this afterwards. My go-to wine for events like this is a Lambrusco. So it's a chilled sparkling red, absolute crowd pleaser, and it's good to drink something sparkling with things like cheeses and heavier dishes. It's supposed to break up those heavier meals.
Definitely.
But one of my new favorites right now for all of these folks that are not imbibing is to take San Pellegrino sparkling water and add the Sicilian blood orange balsamic.
Done.
So it creates like a cocktail feel without imbibing, and it's super simple.
Ooh, so while you're doing that, and I'm gonna try that, we're bringing in Chris Cashman here because there's way too much food
Ooh,
here.
You had me at pesto. but-
And what is Chris trying over here?
Okay, Chris has this special treat.
He sure does.
This is a typical way to enjoy anchovies in Italy is on
Yes.
toasted bread with butter.
She knows I like tin fish. I'm a sardine guy.
Oh, well,
They were a
then-
punchline in a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but in real life, they're fantastic.
You're
That
really
is
into
special
this.
for you. Yeah.
I would be a little scared with that, but this is something that you do all the time and you really enjoy
No
it.
notes. No
it's
notes.
so simple and so delicious.
Ooh, okay,
So
and a
this
little of that.
is a white balsamic. It's fermented with Sicilian blood oranges. And what's nice is that it is considered a fermented food. So, I mean, it's like a health food. There's no right or wrong amount. Again, as simple as the bruschetta. Give it a
Cheers.
little shake. Just stir it up.
So good. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, you guys. And Chris, you keep snacking, but there's a lot more show to go. In fact, got any old Pokemon cards hanging around? What about vintage Beanie Babies? Antiques appraiser Dr. Lori is back to tell us if our treasures are so good we can retire right now. Cheers. This is
Now, if you've ever wondered whether that old vase in your attic is a hidden treasure or, just like a dusty receptacle for spiders, the Seattle Home and Garden Show is the place to go because the show is back at Lumen Field Event Center starting today with hundreds of exhibitors. And the best news of all, the return of celebrity antiques appraiser Dr. Lori is here. She is also a longtime friend of New Day. She's here to kind of give us the inside scoop. A lot of us brought in some treasures, and we're hoping that you can kind of help boil down what's worth squatting on, hucking, donating.
Right. What's trash, what's treasure, this whole thing.
Yeah.
So at the home show for the last 10 years or more, basically what we do is people can come in with whatever they want to bring. I always say have 5 objects, bring 5 friends, right?
Okay.
Down to the home show. And my Antique Appraisal Comedy Tour is coming and stopping here in Seattle once again. It's not waiting in line like you've seen, oh gosh, you're going to wait for the appraiser. It's not like
That's
that.
always in the background of those appraisal shows.
Yeah, no, it's theater seating.
Okay.
You'll be nice and comfortable. Bring whatever you like.
Okay.
And basically, I'm going to tell you, how do you resell it? Should you hold on to it?
Okay.
What is it? And is it valuable?
That's exactly what we
Yeah.
want to find out today. And we'll give
That's
you a
right.
scoop on the Home
Yeah.
and Garden Show coming up. But let's start over here with Barbie, just because the brand, the heritage,
Sure.
the history.
Right.
And some of these did come from a viewer who heard me talking about my daughter's love of Barbie when
Yep.
she was little. So I know at least some of these, like this case, came from the 60s. They are well loved, as
They're
I like
well
to
loved.
say.
That's right. That's right. Because toys are usually like that. They need to be in good condition. Any of
Okay.
your art antiques and collectibles need to be in good condition. You want to think about that. These Barbies are from different time periods.
Yeah.
So first of all, what you actually have, just so you know, this is a 1990s era Barbie with a
Gotcha.
1990s era
Sure.
case. That's great. Again, for those of us like you and I, that's not all that long ago.
Right. Okay.
These pieces actually, the bodies are not Barbies, the heads are Barbies.
Oh,
so that's the
interesting.
problem with this, because an expert like me, of course, a longtime appraiser,
Wow.
this particular piece, I look at this and go, okay, well, the heads are right, but the bodies are wrong. So not so much in terms of
Okay.
value. What does have value, even though they have a little bit of condition issues, are, of course, these particular
The cases.
because you would take all your clothes and you'd go to your friend's house with
Right.
all of your Barbie stuff and you'd play Barbies. Retail value on this one is going to come in about $45, and this one's going to come in closer to $65 just for the case, no clothing.
Wow.
If the clothing for Barbie has the Barbie label, like a designer label,
Sure.
then that increases in value. Those go for about $5 a piece. Now, in talking
Wow.
about toys, I want you to think about these types of things. So first of all, you have some Matchbox cars.
So dig those out of your vacuum bag.
Right,
and under the couch.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And then you also have Hot Wheels, and there's a difference, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of people will have the difference between those particular types of toy cars. Usually the ones that you want to look for, the most valuable ones, are white Okay, the white color and the purple color for Hot Wheels,
Okay.
and those that have a red line around their little wheel.
So Hot Wheels kind of
Tire.
think husky colors. And why is that?
Yeah, husky colors, right. Because those colors were more rare. They didn't produce as
Wow.
many of them.
Who
So you
would've
want to
thought?
think about that. Retail value on this one has a little bit of damage at the top, about $65 for that Hot Wheel. Hot Wheels
Cool.
are usually those muscle cars, right? Now, jewelry,
Yeah.
I want you to think precious metals and gemstones, okay? If you want to bring jewelry down to the home show, but you're concerned, I don't know if I want to bring it, bring a picture.
Well, a
You
lot
can
of
do
us
that
are handed
too.
stuff from our mom or grandma and we're not sure. Is this real or was
That's
this her
right.
travel
So
jewelry?
I'll be able to tell you. And
Okay.
remember, the costume jewelry, or as you call it, travel jewelry, is in fact valuable too. So don't make that mistake.
Okay. What about coins? I know I have
Coins.
several at home that I'm always wondering. These are old, but
Yes, and they're circulated. So once they're circulated, value goes down. If they were used to buy a candy bar in 1936,
Yeah.
then they're not worth as much as if they were never touched.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, so think about that. Those are nice coins. Now people are looking for them because the silver market is high. So again, those are actual silver.
Okay.
So that's the other thing you want to think about. Of course, when people come into the home show, they always say, what if I have something big, Dr. Lori? I can't bring you my dining room set, and you're
Right.
only here for the home show. You've got one shot to see me this year, right? So remember, you can take photographs and bring those in. And there's so much at the home show that you want to see too.
so don't bring the credenza.
Don't bring the credenza,
Photo
right?
of it.
Photos of
Okay.
it.
Cameras, vintage cameras are
Vintage
hot.
cameras are hot,
Yeah.
okay? But you have to make sure they're in working condition
Okay.
and that it's relatively easy to get the film because people want to use them.
Okay.
Retail value on this one, which is the Bell & Howell, that one's going to come in anywhere between $90 and $110.
Wow, okay.
It will all depend on functionality.
These are like some tchotchkes. A perfect example. My grandfather, my papa, I miss him.
Yeah.
I have a box of a bunch of his stuff. These were in them. He was a collector, but also as he called it, a junker. He would go to
junker.
garage sales, junk sales, as he called it. So
See,
I wasn't
sometimes
quite
it's
sure.
hard. There you
He's
go.
pressed down.
You gotta push.
I did look when he first
And
gave
that's
this
going to be a
me.
knife. There
it's
you
a
go.
knife
You got to be
and
careful.
a pitchfork.
So carving, basically, it's a carving set. It comes from, of course, Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
A lot of these came back from the Vietnam conflict. Retail value on that's going to be about $50. There's a lot of them out there, and these are going to be just about $35. They're from the same area
Garage
of the world.
sale pop. Okay, that's
Well,
all right.
yeah, you know, remember when you're thrifting, a lot
Yeah.
of people are going to thrift stores. My YouTube channel, which is a lot about thrifting and what to buy and how to resell it, which I'll
Yep.
teach you at the home show too, is of course has 100 million views. And my YouTube channel also teaches you what should I buy and what should I leave there. So vintage purses are one of the things that you might want to buy when you're at the thrift store because they can have a lot of value. This one, of course, is gold lame. How do you look in gold lame, Chris? Not bad.
Going for the gold
Yeah,
all
pretty
week.
good.
Yeah.
I like it with the
That
brooch.
works, yeah. Thank you.
So retail value on a piece like this, because it does have some damage. It dates to the 1960s, early 1970s. Retail value on that, $45.
We're just about out of time,
Yeah.
but we want to talk about this board game. It's vintage. It's super hyper local.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, a TV station in vintage. Does that have value?
That's right. Okay, it will have value, but not as much value here as it will, of course, in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
But there's also more of them in Cleveland, right? That are probably still in a basement or an attic. So think about that. Remember, you want to know where to store your stuff. Art and Antiques like to live where you like to live. They like 72 degrees heat. They like, air conditioning in the summer. No attics, no basements. So keep them in good shape and the value will go up.
I love it. You
Yeah.
want to go see her in person? Dr. Lori is going to host her Lively Antiques Appraisal Comedy Show. This is on stage this Friday. You can visit her. You can bring your treasures, as she said, not their credenza, at 12:30 and again at 2:30. So search your closets, your attics, look for those goodies. The Seattle Home and Garden Show runs today through Sunday.
And I'm there Friday and Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah.
go see her. And next, we're learning about the Olympic history behind Boehm's candies. Then Sif joins us for a breakdown of the hottest films from Sundance. We look ahead to the Oscars. Don't go far.
This is New Day at the Games.
Now, when you think of the Winter Olympics, you probably think of ski jumps or the poise of speed skaters.
Absolutely, but you probably don't think about chocolate. But the man who founded Boehm's Candies in Issaquah once competed on the world's biggest athletic stage.
An Olympian for Austria who later escaped Hitler's army over the Alps. He skied, he escaped, started a new life here in America, and then that unexpected journey is what makes this story so sweet.
We make around 100 some different products.
So you can see totally finished piece.
We make good chocolates and we use, like what everybody says, the best ingredients and the best habits how to make good chocolates. Narissa, my daughter, she always tells people that she's a hand dipper.
This is English toffee. This is good stuff. This is how I won my husband over.
In our production, we're using around 210,000 pounds of chocolate a year.
It's funny because they'll come in the door and they'll buy chocolates, but they don't even know this whole factory exists, like right behind the curtain. So it's always fun to see their surprise when we tell them, hey, go peek in the windows or sign up for a tour.
So that's one part of it. But also the founder, Julius Boehm. So this is Julius, probably in the 60s, skiing. He was not a tall person, he was my size kind of, but he was a very hardy man, and he was competitive in 14 different sports. The Olympic rings on here. He was a 400-meter relay runner in the 1924 Olympics, in 1936 because of his other accomplishments in skiing and swimming and water polo and all the sports he just mastered basically. So we have from the 1936 Olympics, we have the torch.
Perhaps my favorite part about this incredible property is Julius's private residence. It's still here, it's still intact, and you've never seen anything quite like it.
Julius climbed Mount Rainier when he was 70 years old. Somebody climbed Mount Rainier who was, I think, 72 years old, so he was upset about that. He waited a couple of years, and he climbed Mount Rainier again when he was 81 years old. I was asked by Julius, can you carry on? That it is really like Julius's story. I'm here for 58 years, and I still think that Julius's ghost is still running around here with me every day. We're trying to hang on to Julius's vision, and I'm very proud of it.
Beautiful
Did you have
story.
any idea that Boehm's Candies, you drive by it right on
No.
I-90 and Issaquah, you see that sign, it's been there for decades and decades and decades, and this incredible, cool heritage, and I gotta say, even editing that story, I felt like Julius was, I got goosebumps right now. What a cool story, an incredible heritage. During the summer, they will give some tours of his apartment, but go enjoy some of Boehm's. I brought you all these treats, the appropriately named Mount Rainier, looks like Mount Rainier. Those, of course, the dark chocolate
with peanut
caramels.
butter.
They've got stuff for everybody there. Big thank you to Bernard and his wife, and Narissa and Tyson. You saw their kids there working as well. So very, very cool. Go enjoy. So while
good.
you enjoy your chocolates, the Sundance Film Festival was just a few weeks ago, and the Oscars are less than a month away.
Ooh, it's time. That means it's prime time to get caught up on your movies, and who better to clue us in on the best ones than SIF's Senior Marketing Manager, Shelby Smout. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Boy, we
Have
got a
some
lot
chocolate.
to talk about. Yes, first of all, enjoy something from Boehm's. Wonderful treats here.
Oh, I'll definitely have something.
Yes,
after
we'll
this.
partake.
Let's set up Sundance, because we're at that
Yes.
point in time where some people might go, what's Sundance?
Yeah, it's an annual film festival that happens at Park City, Utah. It's founded by Robert Redford, recently passed away.
Yeah.
And this is their last year at Park City. They're moving to Boulder, Colorado next year. And it's always happens at the end of January, where we get a huge swath of films, a lot of great films, and a lot of our Oscar contenders come out of Sundance. And yeah, can't wait for the films that are gonna come out later
Get
this
some
year.
hot leads from them.
I know. Who's the big winner then?
The big winner was Josephine, starring Gemma Chan and Channing Tatum, and it won the Grand Jury Prize and the Audience Award, which usually that means Oscar buzz. The last film that got both those awards was Coda, and that won Best Picture.
Okay, and up next, a film that saw a big bidding war.
That's
Tell
the
us
goal,
about that
right?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the buzziest film to come out was The Invite from Olivia Wilde, and she's also in it. And yeah, there was a big bidding war, and A24 came out on top.
The film The Wicker, also getting a lot of love, very star-studded. What did you like about that?
Oh, I haven't seen it, but the premise is very interesting. It stars Olivia Colman and Alexander Skarsgård, and it's about a woman in a fisherman's village, and she commissions a husband made out of wicker. And my colleague, the artistic director of SIF, Beth Barrett, she was there, and that was one of her favorites.
Love it.
Yeah.
She would know. Very cool.
So many things to add to the list, too. Finally, the only living pickpocket in New York.
Yeah.
Interesting title here,
Yeah.
but I'm intrigued. Tell me about this film.
Yeah, that's another fan favorite that came out of Sundance, and it stars John Turturro as an older pickpocket, and he is in a circumstance that it becomes a race against time, essentially, and it has Steve Buscemi as well. So it's exciting.
He's in everything.
Yeah.
I swear.
And of course, the culmination, the Oscars, March 15th. Let's talk about the movie that sort of set the records for the most nominations. Sinners.
Yes,
Do you think it's going to? Have you seen Sinners?
I have not seen it.
I saw it. I would like to get your
No.
impression.
Is this? Should I stop everything and watch this?
Yes.
Is this with Michael B. Jordan?
I assumed it wasn't going to be for me. I heard the buzz.
Yeah, he's playing twins.
Okay.
Smoking stack.
Enough said. Then I need to run and watch this because Michael B. Jordan is my boyfriend. He just doesn't know it.
What do you think? Is it going to clean house at the awards?
I think it will win Best Picture, but it's right now it's between Sinners and One Battle After Another, and we have the dark horse of Hamnet. That's starting to climb up there.
What do you like about Sinners? Because I don't think I know a lot about the premise.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's one of those that's hard to explain and
It's
you don't
vampires.
want to spoil,
I'll
right?
say it's vampires,
What?
and it's a horror film.
Oh.
It's kind of a mashup, though. I didn't take it in as a horror movie. I thought it was a bit of a several genres kind of mixed into one movie.
And it's very prescient, I will say. Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued. The other film that everyone's talking about, you mentioned this, One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
My brother, this was his favorite movie that he's seen this year. Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. What can you tell me about this film?
It's the newest film from Paul Thomas Anderson, stars Leonardo DiCaprio, but it has a lot of buzz because also a very relevant film for this time. And it's just a director and his cast firing at all cylinders, really.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to win Best Picture for that one, or is it more like Leonardo DiCaprio? Like, are we hearing any buzz on what might win?
It really is between Sinners and One Battle After Another. Director, a lot of people think it will go to Paul Thomas Anderson. But we'll see. I don't think Leo will win Best Actor. I think it might be Timothée here. But
makes sense.
All right. Well, much like the Winter Olympics, there's always snubs. Any obvious ones that we should highlight?
No Other Choice.
I haven't even heard this.
From
I need to do some watching of some movies.
It's incredible, and it was nominated for nothing.
But I love that. That's my favorite kind of movie. Ones that you haven't heard of, but people love, and you get to go take it in unbiased. I love that.
Yes, and also it was just an accident from Jafar Panahi. A lot of people were expecting it to be nominated for Best Picture and Best Director. Got neither, but it is in Best Original Script and Best International Picture. So it did get a couple awards or nominations.
What about, Wicked, you guys?
It was also snubbed.
Yeah.
in some categories.
Much like the Olympics, sometimes you have too much success, you're too well known, you're too branded. I think people almost have a hard time voting for movies like
I think
that.
part one was it should have, I think part one was where all the excitement was, and then part two, it kind of fell off.
Fell flat for you? Yeah. Okay. I still loved it. I was crying in the theater.
What is that one movie, because you and the SIF folks, you've got it down. Well, what's that movie that, for folks like us that maybe don't see everything, what did we miss that we should see?
Well, obviously Sinners.
You were like, run, Sinners.
Have you seen Hamnet yet?
No.
Okay, you got it.
You got our homework.
There we go. Homework. I'm busy this
I know nothing
weekend.
about it. I love that.
Exactly.
I won't say anything else then.
There you
I'll
go.
just say Shakespeare.
Have some chocolate then too before you go. Thank you so much for being here. This was fun.
How cool. Thank you so much.
And I am ready for a reset next. When we come back, yoga instructor Morgan Zion shows me how intense stretching can really help us reduce stress. So stay tuned. Well, as you can tell from my outfit, I'm ready for a reset, and I know a lot of you can relate. One Hotel Seattle is really leaning into the wellness retreat experience for their guests, and I actually recently took a class there from yoga instructor Morgan Zion, and we did some deep, intense stretching, and I loved it. So I had to invite you back because you had such a beautiful approach to it all, and it was so different than any other class I've ever taken. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Kelly.
Yes.
And it was wonderful to have your energy there because you're so open.
Oh, well,
yeah,
thank you.
Definitely.
I'd like to think that I am. Why do you think some of those deep, intense stretching classes really resonate with people?
Yeah, oftentimes we're so stressed out and we show up to a class and then we're worried about being perfect. We're worried about not doing it right. But the reason we have instructors there is to help guide us to do it more correctly or just not injure ourselves and relax and de-stress. So a lot of times I will offer on what I call hands-on assist with consent from my students to help them get into deeper stretches and really like relax into what they're trying to do.
I know. I think I realized during that class too that I was doing some of these simple stretches incorrectly in a way, and so I really appreciated the hands-on treatment I was getting. And now you're going to show me a little bit of what I learned. So walk me through a little bit of this demo, if you will.
Yeah, of course. And we'll just start in a seat, just
okay,
like
great.
you are.
See, I got excited.
A little crisscross is fine. So take a big breath, and then you can lift your arms all the way up and twist to the right. And so as you do this, I'm going to support you a little bit, Kelly.
Please.
The goal of this one is to try and keep your hips on the ground and twist from your upper back. There you go. And oftentimes the hip will want to come up, but then you don't get the twist in the upper back. So you just keep breathing into the twist.
I imagine breathing is important
breathing
too.
Is very important. And then we'll come back to center. We'll take a side stretch this time. So lift your arms up. We'll take out the same side. Yep. And then reach your right arm out to the side and lift your left arm up and over your head. So as you do this, you might notice your hip wants to pop up, but you want to continue to push your hip down, and that'll help stretch your side, which gets very tight oftentimes.
It's
right?
very tight right now. It feels good, but it's a stretch.
But you can feel it. So come back to center. And then we'll cross the ankles and plant the hands in front of you. We'll just come into tabletop. So just right about here. And then walk your right foot wide and walk your hands slightly forward. So normally we would go to the other side, but just for the sake of time, just breathe into this space. Now, you might notice that your leg is popping in, and that's fine. But if you want to open up your hip a little more, roll to the outside edge of your foot, just like this, and then take your right, I know, right? Take your right hand to the inside of your right leg and just open up your hip. Yeah. So that way, when you start to look up toward the right, you can get, again, that twist again. And so you're opening up through your upper back. And
how long should you be stretching, like every single day too, doing some of these moves?
Yeah, Kelly, that's a great question. I would say anywhere from like a minute per, and you want to switch sides and make sure that you can continue to breathe throughout, So sometimes I would say putting a timer on is helpful, but even then, sometimes it just stresses you out. Maybe it's a certain number of breaths. I like to say anywhere from like 8 breaths, maybe more, will help you just to really like get the full immersion of what the stretch can give you, especially when it comes to your hips.
Absolutely. I want to talk to you. You have so many amazing things happening with One Hotel Seattle. So what's happening with the floating saunas?
Yeah, so we have the coolest partnership with Wild House Floating Sauna, and they are just located on South Lake Union. And what I offer as the wellness guide is a personalized breathwork experience. It's kind of like contrast therapy 101, which is sauna, and then jumping into the lake is our cold plunge, right? Which is so fun. And during the time when we're in the sauna, we do some meditation, we do some guided breath work, which I lead, and then we go into the cold plunge. We come back, we get some like a moment to breathe, and then we come back in, and we repeat this about 3 to 4 times based on our 90-minute journey. And what's really cool is you get to jump in the water right by the Space Needle. So you get this awesome view of South Lake Union, right? It's just the funnest. So we do that. Our next one is on the 22nd, this next weekend. Actually, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And next month too. And we try and line them up with the cycles of the moon. So this one's called the crescent reset because we're at that phase of the crescent cycle, and then the new moon will be in March.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I've actually really just gotten into cold plunging, and it's amazing that you can do it right here in the lake. What other ways are you guys two encouraging wellness?
Yeah, so we have a weekly run club on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. and with a discount at Drift, which is our local cafe. We have so many wonderful wellness forward meal options and drinks, and today we actually have some of our wellness shots. This one is called the Detox, which is
I'm gonna try this one.
It's
what
really
else is over
good.
there?
And we also have our immunity and our and our glow.
Ooh, what is in here? Is this like
This is lemon, I believe, ginger and cayenne. Nice and spicy.
Ginger is what I'm getting in a little of the cayenne. I really like this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being
Absolutely.
here. I have a nice reset now for the rest of the day.
Yes.
And that floating sauna event Morgan just talked about sounds like absolute heaven. You might see me there. And it's on February 22nd with another one following on March 22nd. You'll find all the details on One Hotel Seattle's website. And it's coming down to the wire here on New Day at the Games. Who will take home the gold between Team New Day and Team Evening? We're going head to head in some ancient Olympics trivia. Uh-oh, that's coming up next. Stay tuned. Oh yes, by now you know what that music means. It's time for Game On, and we're almost to the end of our competition between Team New Day and Team Evening. 2 games left, Chris.
Yes, here is a check on our medal count after New Day's win in the Office Olympics yesterday. Several controversies, cheating scandal under investigation, I should say.
I don't know about that. I think New Day won fair and square, and now to today's game, we're going old school, as in back to ancient Olympic times for a special round of trivia. Producer Alexis is here to get this going, and this sounds very hard, but I have a secret weapon.
You have Derek.
Derek.
And I brought in the ringer. She knows everything.
You got it. Great. So you're going to answer both at the same time. You're going to flip your paddles around with A, B, C, or D, and let's get going.
Okay.
You're going to write.
All right.
Because we don't want them to see they do cheat.
Question 1. How long did the ancient Olympics eventually last? Was it A, 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, or 2 weeks? A, 1 day, B, 3 days, C, 5 days, or D, 2 weeks? How long did the Olympics eventually last?
I'm with you. That's my guess.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
We said A.
And you're both wrong. The answer is C, 5 days.
I did a story on this, and I thought it was
3-day
1
weekend had a
day.
nice ring to
No
it.
points
Wow.
Okay.
All right, don't listen to me. That's the only one.
Like the skiers, we
That's the
didn't
only
even
one I
finish the
tried.
race. Okay.
Question 2. When did the first recorded ancient Olympic Games take place? Was it A, 1200 BC, B, 776 BC, 500 BC, or 200 AD?
It's hard to even remember all of
A, 1200 BC, B, 776 BC, C, 500,
Oh my God.
D, 200 AD. Ready?
I'm confident in my partner.
This one's hard.
I know nothing.
I was not nervous. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
B?
Both correct. B. 776 BC.
Yeah. I remember. I was little at the time. But wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a time.
That was a rough game.
Okay.
Question 3. Athletes competed wearing A, armor, B, tunics, C, nothing, D, sandals and togas.
And that first one is what we're talking about? I'm trying to remember what I saw.
In the ancient games, what did they wear? Armor, tunics, nothing, or sandals and togas?
We'll go with it.
What do we think? Red, 1, 2, 3.
What we want.
Because I was thinking naked.
Correct. No.
Which is what I said we should wear on this show, but you guys were no, times have changed, Chris.
David is behind you, so he's repping it.
Question 4. What special truce occurred during the Olympics? Was it A, kings met for treaties, B, no taxes were collected, C, wars were paused, or D, women could watch the games?
Oh, gosh.
Question. What special truce occurred during the Olympics? Kings met for treaties, no taxes were collected, or C, wars were paused, or D, women could watch the games? What do we think? Ready?
Here, D.
This was not in my study guide.
3, 2,
wait.
3, 2.
Okay.
Come on. 3, 2, 1. What do you have?
Wars were paused.
Same.
Okay.
I actually got that one.
What we wanted the answer to be. All right.
No way were they going
Somebody's
to
got to
I
pick a
didn't-
different
yeah.
answer.
I know.
at some
I know.
point.
Like simpler times.
Okay,
huh?
how often were the Olympic ancient games held? A, every year, B, every 2 years, C, every 4 years, or D, every 10 years?
Ooh.
This is all you, baby.
Can we say it again?
How often were the ancient games held? Every year, B, every 2 years, C, every 4 years, or D,
Ready?
every 10?
Yeah.
What do we think?
That's what I was
Okay.
going with.
Let's just go with
Just
it.
go with it?
Yeah.
Again, I
Okay,
thought that was
ready?
in the package.
Yeah.
on the
1,
tape,
2,
but I could
3.
be wrong.
Oh!
And you're both wrong. Every 4 years.
Oh, it's every 4 years?
Every 4 years?
See, I just assumed
Is
in
that
those
even an
days I think you
answer?
lived to be about
Yeah.
27, so they're like, we don't have 4
was a
years.
trick.
We're out
But
here.
instead, I'm turning at Chris is going, A. I'm like,
No. Oh,
Okay.
are we
let's see.
like tied right
lifespan
now?
wasn't that
I think
long.
again. Okay, we got it.
The stadium race distance, about 192 meters, was based on what? A, the length of a temple. B, 600 feet of Hercules. C, a Roman measurement. Or D, the distance between altars. This was their main race, the stadium race. The distance was based on what? The length of a temple. B, 600 feet of Hercules. C, Roman measurement. Or D, the distance between altars.
What was the distance again?
The distance is 192 meters.
Oh.
What do you think?
You're making me responsible. I don't know. I really don't know.
Can we make a guess?
Guesstimate.
Ready?
What do you want? All right.
Your favorite letter.
1, 2, 3.
Our favorite letter.
Come on, Ann.
The answer is B, 600 feet of Hercules. So you're both
I
wrong.
told you.
You guys. Okay.
I've heard that somewhere. I think the Hercules thing I think is real.
I don't know.
Okay, in order for us to not have
this is
a tie,
sudden
let's
death
do-
right now. Sudden death.
We're doing sudden death.
I'm hearing sudden death.
With sudden injury.
So
but a
what
full
was the
recovery.
penalty for a false start in sprint races? A, disqualification. B, public whipping by judges.
Oh.
C, loss of citizenship. Or D, a fine.
Wow.
What was the penalty for a false start in sprint races? Disqualification,
Hide
public
it.
whipping,
Hide it.
loss of citizenship, or D, a
No
fine?
cheating. This is for
Ready?
everything.
1, 2, 3.
Can evening redeem themselves in the games?
Evenings.
Might be.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
And the answer is B.
Lots of whiskers. No, because you guys cleaned up. I just wanted to.
Oh, thank you. The winner is New Day, and I feel like I want to hear you say that.
Yeah, the winner is New Day.
And Derek.
No asterisks.
Derek.
We're going to have one more game tomorrow, and it is for all the marbles now. It's very dramatic. Who's going to build the best model of the Colosseum using sugar cubes?
Yes.
We also have a special guest playing with us.
We sure do. That's going to be fun. And be sure to tune in for that and our medal ceremony. Who will top the podium? For now, thank you for spending time with us today. And for more New Day fun, subscribe on YouTube and be sure to download King 5 Plus for free. Don't forget to enjoy your New Day, and we'll see you next time.